21 years of video editing knowledge. I'm about to break this down to you in 17 steps, so pay very close attention.
Dave, listen up, please.
It does not matter if you're a beginner or if you're a pro. You definitely going to learn something by watching this video.
And bring the heat.
Let's say you're a YouTuber, a vlogger, a business owner, influencer, filmmaker, educator. This video is definitely for you. So let's get going because I don't want to spend too much time on this. The very first step is choosing a software or app. It doesn't really matter, so do not overthink this process. The only thing I can say, let's say if you're a beginner, I would choose CapCut if you're just starting out. Let's say you already know how to edit, you're looking for something that is way much more productive, I would go with Final Cut or Adobe Premiere. If you don't have any type of money to invest, you're looking for a free app, I would go with DaVinci Resolve. If you don't want to do too much editing, you want an AI to take care of it, I would go with NVideo. And also, all these resources will be, I will link everything in the description to make things easy for you. All right, so let's go to step 2. Once you pick a software, now it's time to master the interface of that software. Get familiar with it, understand the timeline of that software. Just get familiar with the software so you don't have to look around all the time. You already know this is the blade right here to cut the clips. This is how to turn, this is the audio panel. This is how to add effects. This is where the transitions are at, and such and such and such. The more familiar you are with the app, the easier it is for you to get the project in and out. I hope I'm making sense, right? Now, the most important part. This is something I wish I knew 10 years ago. The foundation is everything. If you just edit in one video and you never edit in another video in your life, this is not for you. But if you planning on editing over and over and over again, you need a foundation. Let me repeat that. You need a foundation. Trust me. I shot a music video 10 years ago. And then the artist called me and said, hey, I'm looking to do a documentary. Do you still have some of the clips? It took me close to like 6 weeks to find all the clips. I had to go. I have like, let me see all the hard drives I have. I wish I had them close. I have like close to like 20 hard drives, small ones, big ones. So long story short, it took me 6 weeks to find all the footage, and some of them was just encrypted. They was not planned. So the whole thing is, make sure you have some type of foundation. I'm going to explain why as well. Make sure you have some type of foundation. Okay. So the very first step of having a foundation, when you're about to start editing, make sure you create a folder for all your files. Create a specific folder for that project. And that project folder, make sure, give me one sec. That project folder, make sure it's an ID / a title. What do I mean an ID? Like the ID could be YouTube YT 0001, for example. And then parenthesis, the name of the folder. I'm going to tell you why. Trust me. As we move along, you're going to see why that part is necessary, right? So we're going to go up. And inside of that specific folder, which is the main folder of the project, you're going to have about 5 different folders. You could make it 3, you could make it 2, it's up to you. But me, I have 5 different folders inside of that main folder. I have a thumbnail folder, especially if you're doing long form video. If you're doing short form video, I will create another video and tell you how to set a foundation. But this one here is specifically for long form videos. So I have a folder for my thumbnail, not just the thumbnail that goes in there. All the element of that thumbnail will go inside of this folder. I have a script for the project. I will explain why you need that. I have a voiceover or screen recording folder, music and sound effect folder, and the final video folder. The reason you have all these folders later on, if you want to create an AI agent to move the files around or to create the video for you, to edit the video for you, this will come handy. If you hire a group of assistants and you want each one of them have a task, you want them to understand what's going on, this will come handy. Trust me. All right, so this is the main folder, and you have your thumbnail, your script, your video, your thumbnail folder, script folder, voiceover, music and sound, and most definitely the final video. Let me show you how I import everything into my system. I have a productive system right here, and what I do, remember the video title I was telling you about? This is the video titles right here. I import the video titles, which we call the video, not the video titles, I'm sorry, the video ID. I have the video ID, the project title, which is also the project ID, you could call it. And you can see I have a whole bunch of status right here. The completion of the video category, and the Google Drive folder URL. Now, let's say I have 1,000 videos that I created over 6 years, for example. If I need to go back 3 years later, 2 weeks later, and I'm trying to create like a vlog, and I need some type of footage from video 1 or from video 55 to combine with video 162, I don't have to be all over the place. I know exactly what I'm looking for, and I know exactly where to find it. This is why you should have a system. Hope I'm making sense, right? All right, now the second part of the system, you need to have some type of storage, and you need to have an online storage and an offline storage. The reason being, you always got to back up my friend told me, back up your files at least 3 separate ways, but I'm going to only give you 2 separate ways. One is not enough, because you could have your computer with you, your hard drive, and something happen, boom, you lose everything. So always have a backup plan. I would say 3, but let's start with 2. So offline backup plan, get yourself some hard drives, and on online storage. There's multiple different type of online storage. There's Google Drive. There's I'll leave some link in the description, okay? All right. The next step is stop making boring videos. Stop making boring videos. Nowadays, people's attention span are so short. So if your videos are boring, I don't care if it's a business video, I don't care if it's a vlog. If it's boring, people are not going to watch till the end. And this is the reason why I create this. Now, this is what I want you to focus on. This little part right here. Give me 1 second. This little part right here is what I want you to focus on. This is the timeline of a video. Let's say right here is 0 seconds, the beginning of the video. And let's say right here is the end of the video, right? Beginning of the video, the end of the video. Now, your first 15 to 30 seconds, you got to spend some time on that. If you don't want to do no editing, you just film in a video, make sure you have a good hook. Make sure you say something that's going to convince the person to say, you know what, let me sit down and pay attention to him. Or let me give him another 10 seconds before I move on to the next video. So therefore, your first 15 to 30 seconds, you have to make sure it's very attention grabbing, right? And this is why I put this beautiful young lady right here, so you could understand what I'm trying to say. You have to grab some type of attention within the first 15 to 30 seconds, which your hook will be in there. Okay, your hook could be 5 minutes, it could be 30 seconds too. I don't know, it's up to you. But you have to grab the people's attention within the first 15 seconds. If it's a TikTok video, then you have 3 seconds to do it. But if it's a YouTube video, you got about 5 to 10, maybe 30 seconds, like I said, to do it. But you need to ace that. So when it comes up to editing, every 3 seconds, you should switch something. So your music, the effects, the captions, zoom in, zoom out, or whatever it is, whatever you want to add to grab attention, you need to do it within the first 15 to 30 seconds. Then you have the first 50% of the video. The very first, let's zoom in. The very first 50% of the video, you have to give it your best. The whole entire video doesn't have to be 100% amazing. It's the first 50%. Because if someone invests 50% of their time watching your video, trust me, they might invest another 20%. they will invest some more time to finish or to watch another 20% of your video. Like, let's say if your video is 30 minutes long. If I already watch 15 minutes of it, trust me, I'm going to stay tuned, or I'm going to stick to my screen to watch the other 15 minutes. I hope I'm making sense. So when it comes up to editing, the secret, you just got to make sure you put everything you have when it comes up to editing in the first 50% of the video. The other 50%, you could get a little bit lazy. But let's say you do a very good job the last 20% of the video. But if no one stick all the way to the last 20%, nobody saw it. It's like you putting out a movie, the last 50 seconds of the movie is the best. If nobody watched the beginning, nobody will ever see the last. You get the point, right? So make sure your first 15 seconds is better than the first 50%, and the first 50% is better than the last 50%. That's how you edit a good video. All right? That's how the video structure should be. All right, your timeline. Number 5, your timeline is your canvas, of course. Just get very creative. Most systems, they will have the video track on top of the audio track, which is good. And also place your B-roll on top of the main video track. It will be easier for you to edit. That's the only tips I can give you. But once you get familiar with the system or the app, you'll be fine. But just be as creative as possible, because you never know. And number 6, keep everything tight. Remove all the ums, all the ha, all the dead space, all the silent space, which is the dead space. Remove all that so you can make your videos a bit shorter, so you can have a longer retention rate. Because if you uploading your videos on YouTube or Facebook, the lower the retention, the less reach you get. So always try to keep people's watching, unless it needs to be there. If it doesn't need to be there, like a podcast, if it doesn't need to be there, trim it down. All right. I think we spoke about B-roll. B-roll are very important because B-roll will keep people watching. It's another way of resetting the brain to it's like pattern interrupts, basically. It's just a way of the person, let's say if the person starts to get a little bored and then you wake them up again. So some videos need B-rolls, some doesn't. It's up to you. So, but if you're trying to put a good vlog together, you need some B-rolls. All right. Audio is 50% of the video. What do I mean by that? People will forgive you for a bad video, but they will not forgive you for a bad audio. Understand that. People will forgive you for a bad video. They will not forgive you for a bad audio. If you go to the movie, the image is a little blurry, you might stick around and watch the movie. But if the audio is bad, you're just going to get up and leave. Trust me. So make sure you clean your audio. That's one. Make sure, what else you can do? Yeah, you just got to have clean audio. I don't want to, there's no other way for me to explain that. You just have to have clean audio. That's it. Let's move to the next step. Now, sound design. That's something else. What's the best way to explain this? You got to evoke some type of emotion. That's why you got to use music. You got to use instrumentals. You got to use some type of sounds. You got to use suspense effects, and the list goes on. And you got to know how to use the keyframes to bring it up, to bring it down, intro, outro, take out, take off, up, down, and the list goes on. So the whole thing is, you have to create. If someone watch 1 minute of your vlog, they got to go through some type of emotion. You got to make them happy, or you got to make them sad. You got to make them feel something. It can't just be normal. I just watched a vlog. It was okay. No, I just watched a video. That thing was amazing. Why? The emotions, the way you made them feel. So I always start my video editing process by choosing a song first. I don't know why I do that. every single time I'm about to edit, I just go through my options in terms of what song I'm going to use, what sound effects I'm going to use, what instrumentals I'm going to use, what kind of emotions I'm trying to bring out of people. And I select whatever I'm going to select, and boom, it's time to edit. That's just the way I do it. I don't start with the video and then, no, I always start with the emotions first. I always start with the music, the sound effects, the vibe, the feel, the mood, you could call it that. I start with those first, and then I bring in my footage and then edit my footage based on that mood. I don't know why. Maybe because I think, when I first started doing video editing back around the 2006, 2007, I was shooting music videos. So I always had to start with a song first. So it just keep the pace in my head. If I start with the song first, it's easy for me to edit everything else. But if you're doing business videos, of course, you don't need no sounds, but you still got to keep it engaging, unless it can't be boring. Even a business video can't be boring. You got to be saying something that's capturing people's attention. You still got to have clean audio. The video can't be bad. The video can't be overexposed. You kind of get the point, right? Color correction, this is the same thing I was just saying. The video can't be overexposed. So color correction is not that hard to learn. You could just watch a short YouTube video, 10, 15 minutes, and you learn how to do that. And CapCut, for example, CapCut, I think it have an auto feature where it just enhance your video right away. So for beginners, you can use that. But if you're really trying to get the best of the best, then you might have to spend some time color correcting your videos. That's if it's really, really bad. So yes. 11, utilizing text and graphics. Yes, you got to do that, because especially when you're doing short videos, you got to have the caption on the video, because that's a way to keep the person engaged. Okay. Long form videos, not so much, but short form videos, you got to have some type of caption so they can pay attention, just in case if you have an accent like me, you know, it's a way for people to understand what you're saying. So next, be more productive. How can you be more productive? You see this mouse here that I'm using? Every single button here does something. So if you want to be more productive, you can use shortcuts. Yes, and make sure you have a fast computer. If you plan on editing for a long time, make sure you have a fast computer. If you plan on editing for a very, very, very long time, don't just do it on your phone. Yes, your phone is like, if you're traveling, yeah, but make sure you have a computer too. Make sure you have a computer, and make sure that computer is fast. All right, everything is done. It's time to export. Make sure you export in the right settings. I'm not going to repeat all this. You can read them on the screen right here, because I already wrote everything. And we have number 14. It's break down long videos to short. That's what I probably meant to say. Let's say you just shot a podcast. It's about 2 to 3 hours long. You could take the link of that podcast, the final video, drop it inside of an AI tool. There's plenty of them. I'm going to link them in the description below. And then it will break that down to probably 20, 30, 60 different short videos. And you can take those short videos to get more eyeballs. Number 15, what do I mean by more eyeballs? Distribution. You can take these short clips and begin to distribute. Make sure they go on TikTok. Make sure they go on YouTube. Make sure they go on Instagram. Make sure they go on Snapchat. You can take the audio of that file. Make sure you upload it as a podcast. That's if you want to. Now, let's say you only do TikTok. You can take those TikTok video and distribute them to YouTube, Instagram, Pinterest, Snapchat, Thread, and the list goes on. And you don't have to do that manually. There's AI tools that will take your videos from one platform and distribute them to as many platforms as possible. I will leave some links in the description, because I don't want to name like 50 tools. So I will leave some links in the description, just in case, if you're interested. Okay, let's go with number 16. Creating systems for better results. If you plan on doing video editing for a long time, if you're a YouTuber, influencer, business owner, if video is part of your marketing strategy, If you need video for your business, for you to make money, for you to generate leads, for you to get eyeballs, you need a video system. Let me show you my process. The very first step, start with an ID. In terms of you think of something and you say, okay, let me write that down. That's the very first step when it comes up to my system. Right here. I think of something and I say, okay, it's time to do it. Next step is that it's almost ready to go. Now mean, okay, it's time to record that video. Now, after I record that video, I need a design for that video, which we call a thumbnail. Script is already written. I might need a voiceover, maybe not. Then I might need to edit my own video or send it to the editor. Once it's done, that video will be under final review. Once it's approved, then it's ready to go. That means it's ready to get published. Then I get my AI to distribute the video for me. YouTube, it could go on YouTube, cut it into clips, and send it everywhere else like Pinterest, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, Thread, Facebook, LinkedIn, you name the rest, right? So now the other good thing that happened when I come up with a title, the moment that video is ready for me to go film it and I switch the status to now, this is what happened in my system. Automatically, my system generate a Google Drive folder for that specific right here. It generates a Google Drive folder for that specific project. And it also create a video ID for me for that specific project. So every single time I switch a status of a video from idea to now, it generate a Google Drive folder. It also generate a video ID. And then from there, I can keep track of everything. If my thumbnail is ready, if somebody have to write a script, or if the script is already done, and the list goes on, and you can see the progress bars right here. Next time I will log into the system and show you everything. Right now I'm just using a couple screenshots. Hopefully, if you want to watch for me to create a video about the whole system, just let me know and I'll do that. But I just wanted to show you a couple screenshots of how I run my system. And when you do have a system in your video, when you do have a video system in your business, trust me, it just makes things very easy. If you don't feel like editing, you hire someone to edit, you can still track everything. If you don't want to write scripts, you want to pay someone to write the scripts, or you want to get an AI to write the script, the AI can write the script and still bring it back into the system, right? Now, if you want to keep everything safe, like you have your footage there on your computer, once you upload those footage on the Google Drive, it will distribute it into, maybe it will have it in Google Drive, then it can then it can also create a backup and for it to go somewhere else. These are just ways for you not to lose anything, for you to be more productive. Of course, it sounds a little complicated, but once you put these things together, thing is very easy. You can create your own system, but that's what I ended up creating. So that is it. I wish I didn't make this video too long, but I'll try to create another one another time. But as for now, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. I will leave a lot of links in the description. Talk to you later.